What's happening, world? Happy Friday. Welcome to another episode of Cognac Confessionals. I'm your host, Deshaun, here at Where Media Meets Studios, in conjunction with VJ TV, Farrell Films, History in the Making Entertainment, Keep It Cloudy Productions. Shout out to the Venus Lounge. Shout out to Camouflage, as always. It's Friday, March 14th, 2025. Got a good show lined up for y'all tonight. I'm going to start off with letting my co-host to the left introduce himself, as always.
Hey, what's up with it, man? It's that boy Pharaoh, man. Once again, man, it's always a treat when the players meet.
Yeah, and our guest tonight, let him introduce himself.
Okay. I'm James the Great, you know what I mean, from Old Heads and Young Bulls Podcast.
Welcome to the show, my
man.
guy.
It's all my pleasure, man. It's all my pleasure.
Yeah, before we even start, let's just go and tap this off.
Yes, sir.
So to the Most High for letting us see another day.
Let's go.
It's Friday. Let's handle with it. So, it's been an interesting week, as always. A lot of bullshit in the world.
Terrible shit.
But, I mean, we still mourning the loss of D. Wiggs. So
man, for sure. Rest in peace.
Yes, indeed.
That was a great, talented dude right there, for sure.
A great human being too.
I ain't never met him, but you know, I'm a young bull when it come to him.
Yeah.
But for sure.
Yeah, great human being, man. Always, man. Really a man of the people.
Yeah, Angie Stone passed. You got then
terrible tragedy.
It's been a lot, you know. We're gonna continue
Bill
to persevere
Withers,
and move.
Murder Flag.
I know one thing I do know, we celebrate life though.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's for damn sure. You know what I mean? I let motherfuckers know, man. When I go, man, they my kids already know what to do with me, man. Turn me into some diamonds. Turn my ashes into some diamonds.
Okay, talk that talk, man.
Talk
that talk, man.
Ashes into some diamonds.
I'll drink to that.
And celebrate me, man. You hear me? And that's why I'm trying to leave a legacy right now. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm trying to, it's always impact over income. You hear me? You know what I mean? We doing impact over income.
You're not the hero,
feel
baby.
what I'm saying?
I hear you.
So yeah, man, just rest in peace to all the ones. But we gonna celebrate life over here, man. We celebrate day life. You know what I mean? You know, good shit, man. You know.
So for the people that don't know you or whatnot, let's go break down your history, who you are, where you from. Like you said, you from Old Heads, Young Bulls Podcast.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Because hey, y'all know us here. We don't do the gatekeeping. We interview and talk to everybody.
For sure.
It ain't like back in the days we was young. Remember when WWF and NWA, they be like, Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair, they don't exist. That one say, we don't know who that is. Hey, we salute and support everybody over here, man.
Like I say, man, I'm James the Great, man, on Instagram, man. But, you know, I'm James Earl Grant Jr., man. You know, I come from the Bay.
Okay.
You know what I mean? The Rich. But, you know,
what's up? Shout out to the Rich.
Shout out to Rich, man. You know what I mean? But I'm located, you know what I mean, in Stockton, the Valley. I'm a Stockton adoptee. You hear me? That's what I say. You know what I mean? Been out there for 24 years.
Okay.
That's why, you know, I do my networking at. But, you know, I'm well connected and highly respected. So, you know.
Salute.
Earth is my turf, you know what I mean? So, you know, you can live anywhere is how you present yourself.
Yeah, always.
I'm going to tell you now, you can live anywhere in the world, man, is how you present yourself.
Right. So, with your podcast, Old Heads and Young Bulls, give us a rundown. How did you come up with that? What's the premises of your show?
It basically is an all-purpose podcast. You know what I mean? We doing everything from the art, food, you know, mental health, you know what I mean? Like I say, God gave me that vision, you know what I mean? You know, like I say, I ain't doing it for no profit. It's, you know, like I say, impact over profit. I done it just to be, you know, depression real, my boy, you know what I mean? I ain't never been, you know what I mean, too hard to thank the Lord or never too gangster to tell God thank you. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know, depression real, man. If y'all been following me, they know my story, you know what I mean? I went through, you know, 5 back surgeries, diagnosed with stage 2 cancer, all this year, you know what I mean? And 2024, 2025. And everybody got a purpose, man.
Right.
Everybody is, God's gift. That's what I say, you know what I mean? And you just got to find your purpose, man. And mine's is to live and let live and live my life, man. And inspire and motivate, man.
That's what's up.
So yeah.
So when did you start your podcast?
Man, I'm a newbie in this, man.
Talk about it.
Shit, no more than 8 months, bro.
Okay.
No more than 8 months, man. It's just, when you viral in real life, you don't need to go viral online. You know what I mean? Like, I'm somebody in real life, you know what I mean? Who know me is know me. You know what I mean? Not saying, you should think, move in confidence, you know what I mean?
Got to.
Like I say, you know what I mean? Like 8 months, man. 8 months, man. I just started, man, and it ain't nothing but great things from here, you feel me?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like you said, the premises is impact over profit.
For sure.
You touching on a lot of subjects, you said.
Yeah.
What made you say I want to do a podcast?
Man, bro, recovering from, I've been had it, but, life, me working, wife, ex-wife, kids, job. So I couldn't never really get around to it. But, due to, like, my condition, sending them 4 walls at home, bro, that'll get you, bro, you know what I mean? And a lot of therapy, like I say, therapy is an advantage these days, you know what I mean?
Everybody got to talk to somebody.
For sure, you know what I mean? But, and just me going for it, bro, you know what I mean? What else I got to, I can't work, you know what I mean? It's, I'm trying to stay out the streets. I needed to do something positive, bro. So that's basically what it all boiled down to, just, trying to do something positive. You feel me?
Salute that.
For sure. Let me.
So far as guests on your show, where can they find your show at?
You can find it on Old Heads and Young Buds, Instagram oldheads_youngboods_podcast.
Okay.
You can find it on Facebook, straight up Old Heads and Young Buds podcast. Me personally, YouTube, Old Heads and Young Buds podcast, Instagram, Twitch. For sure, Twitch is Early With It TTV. That's my gamer tag, you know what I mean? I'm going to have to switch the name later. But yeah, you get the full experience on Instagram and Facebook. You get the, the back end and the backstories of who coming and who, what we doing. But the full episodes get dropped live on Facebook and YouTube.
Okay.
Yes,
so
sir.
How often, what's the schedule for your podcast?
Man, like I say, I freestyle, bro. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm a single father. I'm healing constantly with, due to all the surgeries and stuff. So it's really not no, continue.
You don't have a set schedule?
I'm booked though. I'm booked up though. You know what I mean? I'm booked all the way to April.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. I'm booked up all the way to April. I can do more, but it's all about me and my journey and my condition, bro. You know what I mean?
You gotta do what you can do.
Bro, sometimes it's fighting to even put on my socks, man.
That's
you know what I mean,
real.
man? This stuff ain't,
That's real.
ain't just for show, man. So that, it's real life here.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's the best kind of podcast.
Yeah.
That real life.
For sure.
That authenticity.
Exactly.
And that's why I go live, bro. And I tell people, that's why I go live, because I don't got time, bro. I don't got time to be editing and cut. What you say,
we don't do none of that here.
Yeah, I see
We'll
y'all live here,
Live.
real old head shit. So, shout out to y'all one more time, man.
Yes, sir. Yes,
You
sir.
know what I
Yes,
mean?
sir.
Nice hospitality.
Okay. That's what we do here. We about supporting
Yeah.
networking. It's networking, no work.
For sure. And I definitely appreciate the invite, and I'm gonna return the favor.
Like I said, you reached out, and I was like, "What's up?"
For sure.
I was like, it's all good. Let's come through. Let's chop it up. You know what I'm saying?
And I for sure like your vibe over here, man.
Conversation run the nation.
You be over
Procrastination
here,
is a violation.
For sure, man. You over here doing it real nice, and I'm just sharing it. Y'all make sure y'all like and share this episode, man.
Definitely.
For sure. But yeah, though, man.
So, as far as with your podcast, your vision, what vision do you have for your set?
The vision is there, bro. You know what I mean? Bro, I just go day by day. I take it vibe by vibe, energy by energy.
Okay.
But to be honest, man, the podcast, that's just the beginning, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean? I ain't even gonna lie to you, because we got so much things and the vision is just so big, you know what I mean, clear. You know what I mean? When you had that clear vision, from the beginning to end, can't nobody stop you. You understand what I'm trying to say? So, but, you know, yeah, old heads and young bulls just the beginning, bro. You know what I mean? I'm saying it here now. It's just the beginning.
What made you come up with that name? Because that's I like that name.
I appreciate it, bro. I definitely appreciate it, man.
I'm gonna give props where props is due.
Oh,
If I
for
like
sure.
something, I'm gonna tell you.
Old heads and young bulls, like I say, I give out flowers too.
Yeah.
You know, young bulls. Everybody know that's a Philly term, right? Is you know, correct me when I'm wrong, because you know, check me, because when somebody check me, I don't take it personal, because checking ain't nothing but a correction. You understand? So
Conversation running name.
you know what I'm saying? So young bulls came from Philly. And we all old heads, man. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I don't know, bro.
It's funny because
it just came to me, bro. One is just old heads and young bulls podcast. I'm like, ooh.
I laugh because
Ooh.
like my youngest in the group thread with me, him, and my wife, he said it's MJ and the old heads. He called me his mom. He calls us the old heads. I'm like,
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I was cracking up when I was like, damn,
bro. And you know,
so
it's a good thing. Everybody saying it. Watch out, old head. Watch out, young bull. You know what I mean? So everybody's saying it, and I had the name like a year or two, right? Even before I started it, a year or two. But like I say, life can be a distraction.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
right.
I'm working every day. You know what I mean? Life can be for sure a distraction. You know what I mean? So, you know, so I just put it to the shelf. You know what I mean? And even with my daughter's show, you know what I mean? Like, coming soon, Mornings with Miracle. You know what I mean? Produced by Old Heads and Young Bulls podcast.
Okay. Talk about it.
Yeah.
You here to plug all that.
For sure. You know, from the intros, the jingles, written by James the Great himself, by me.
Okay.
You know, if y'all listen to the intro, to my intro, that was written by me, sung by me and my kids. Shout out to Imagine and Miracle, my two kids.
Hey, salute.
Yes.
We always,
And,
Wu-Tang love the kids.
For sure, but Mornings with Miracle show was first, bro. You know what I mean? Due to Corona, you know what I mean? I was trying to do her show first, but then, you know, the world opened up. So I put her show on the shelf and went back to work, but her show getting revamped. I'm getting Old Heads Here to Stay. And like I said, just so much things I got in store, just not just for Old Heads and Young Bulls podcast, just for the podcast union. You know what I mean? That what I'm putting together. You know what I mean?
So let's speak on that. What's this podcast union?
So the podcast union is just, you know, California podcast union. At first it was gonna be Northern California, but shout out to Roll 'em Up podcast in San Diego.
Okay. Shout them out.
Yeah, for sure. Down south, you know, LA. You know, he was want to be a part of, so I took out the Northern California and just picked California, so we can move as a, you know, as a whole. But basically, you know, the podcast union just meaning like eventually everybody be on everybody's show. You know what I mean? It's a small world, you know, baby, small world, you hear me? And basically, you know, we get that one artist, you know what I mean? We get him on that PR run. You know what I mean? If he got a good project coming out, you know what I mean? He come on my show. He come on your show. He go on 360. He going to support your boy podcast. Shout out to all the podcasters that's going to be a part of this union. And that's why I'm here with you, you know what I mean? And trying to, you know, see if we trying to connect and network and, you know, move as a unit. You feel what I'm saying? And And from there, we're gonna do the first ever PodCon. You know what I mean? With all the podcasts is under one roof. You know what I mean? We got the vendors from all over. Y'all can bring y'all merch. Art, food. You know what I mean? Set up. You know what I mean? Even the medicine, 215 friendly. You know how that is. And we're gonna connect like that. So yeah.
Okay.
So that's where I'm at.
That's what's up. So, what drove you to have the concept of Podcast Union?
Like I say, bro, just sitting back, bro. We eventually gonna have everybody. It's a small world, man. We all from the Bay, from Sacramento, from Stockton. That's all a blunt away, 2 blunts away, bro. You gonna get to them cities. You hear what I'm saying? And eventually, you know what I mean, they're going to be on our show one way or another. So instead of them just doing their own networking, just be one, you know what I mean? And I direct the foot traffic. You can direct the foot traffic. We all direct the foot traffic, make it easy. Booking will be way more easy. Everybody will be in rotation. You understand what I'm saying? And whoever have a hot project coming out, just imagine if, they come on Old Heads and Young Bulls. I play their music. Now they over here. You playing it like, boy, who is this guy? Plus he a underground. And that's why I like, having underground artists on my platform. You feel what I'm saying? Just because they underground, their music still go.
Oh, yeah.
Their music still go.
It's all conversation.
You hear me?
Conversation run the nation. You niggas will get that at 3 in the morning.
At 3, you hear me? And when their mom wake up, you hear me?
You get that. So, you spoke on Podcast Con.
Oh, the PodCon. Yes.
PodCon.
Yes.
Right.
The first ever.
That sounds dope.
Yes.
I like visionaries. So.
Yes, for sure. And
what would that look like?
Well, the PodCon, what would that look like? Just to give you a little peek in the window.
Give them a little, you feel me? Give them a little.
It'd be under all the podcasts that I just named. We come together under one roof. Basically, it'd be a media, a PR run for any artist that want to just, get on every platform at one time. Okay. You understand? Steady just going here one day, going there another day. Y'all could just come to the PodCon and get it over with. 20-minute segment on my show, 20-minute segment on your show. You know what I mean? About an hour, you could probably be on about 5 or 6 podcasts. Okay. Plus, we're gonna have the dope, the medicine, the flowers, the flowers there.
420 friendly.
For sure. We're gonna have the foodies, all the food. Have some vendors for the food. If y'all got one of a kind merch. Please bring the one of a kind, because I love a one-on-one. You know what I mean? Like I say, who is this right here? You got right here.
Oh, my cousin that passed, that's Biaggi. Selfish Clothing.
Selfish Clothing. See, stuff like that. That's a one-of-one right there. You know what I mean? I love to have merch like that. If y'all got them one-on-one merches, art, come on through it.
Oh, yeah. We know, we between that, we know a lot of people that do a lot of stuff.
And that's why I'm here to network with y'all, because I know, for sure. And I'm putting in the work, man. You know what I mean? Disabling everything, depressed, therapy and all the shit, you know what I mean? Trying to put in the work, you know what I mean?
Still pushing that hard line.
For sure. That's the only way we're going to make it and leave some, change this, generation curses and leave a little generation wealth at the same time, bro. So,
True that.
That's one thing I'm a firm believer right now is breaking them curses and leaving a little generation wealth, man, if I can.
Hey, gotcha.
So, yeah, man. But like I say, thank you, man. I appreciate, hats off, man, to the boss over here, man.
That's what we do here. We all about networking and trying to expand people. And, your audience don't know us. Our audience may not know you.
For sure.
So we always about trying to push progression and move shit forward in this world, because
number, love, and light.
Too many people. Oh, that's right. I'm a square all day. Love.
Oh man, if I tell them, if I wasn't programmed and brainwashed to do this, this street shit. I'm 45 and about 30 days in. But like I say,
Salute.
man, salute for sure. If I wasn't programmed and brainwashed to be in this street shit like I was, I ain't in it no more. But I'd be a nerd, man. You know what I mean? Like I'm a penny collector. You know what I mean? Like I'm a.
Sense makes sense.
Hey, for real. The shit that I'm into.
Make sure your
I'm
outcome
weird.
is income.
Yeah, man, I'm
Get that
weird,
at the
man.
end of
You
the
know what I
month.
mean? Like
They ain't ready for that.
the shit I'm into, they ain't even into. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? P, how you feel?
For sure.
Man, I feel it.
You feel it?
Man, I got like one of them 1905 Buffalo pennies.
Hey, bro, I'll tell you everything about a penny, bro. I ain't a collector. I'm more as a penny hunter. I'm a coin hunter. So it's a difference from collecting than hunting. So when you hunting, you hunt for certain type of errors in them years.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? And you got to really know what you looking for. You got to know what things look with the naked eye. You ain't gonna know, you know what I mean? We probably all had that penny that's worth 160,000. I come from the streets, you know. I for sure and threw away a lot of, change thinking I was too good for it, and them was the ones that would have changed my life.
Hey, remember the $5 with the red ink?
For sure.
See, that's the shit that's worth more.
For sure. We ain't knowing.
Silver, I come from the era. I remember when you had the coins that had silver. They put coppers in all the coins now, but silver coins is the shit.
So
I know about all that.
So copper right now, so pennies right now, if y'all know, right? See, I'm a
They're trying to
nerd.
get
I'm a
rid of
nerd. Yes, and they been did it in Canada. Pennies been gone for years. For a long time ago.
Yes.
Now you can get pennies. A Canada penny been good out here in the United States. So
Well, after the old boy, it's probably not going to
yeah, for sure. So in 1982, see, I'm going in my nerd bag right now. So
Revenge of the Nerds
so
is a great series.
in 1982, that's when they went anything below 82 is real copper, right? Anything 1982 and up is zinc. You don't want the zinc pennies. You want the copper, and the way you can tell the copper penny from the zinc pennies, you need a scale. Everything go back to the scale. Yeah. So the zinc penny is gonna weigh like 2.5, something like that. Yeah. You 2.5 with the zinc. You feel me? And with a copper, it's gonna weigh about 3.5, 3.6, 3.8. That's how you gonna know you got a real copper. But pennies right now. Do you know how much it costs for America to make a penny?
It's 3 cents, 4 cents to make a penny.
6 cents. 6 cents to make 1 penny, and that's why Donald Trump trying to get rid of it. So if you got right now, like, bro, you look at my when you come to my platform or whatever, I got all my pennies right there. I got them rolled up, dated.
We do that. I'm a collector. I collect all type of shit. Like I said, I'm the silver coins with no copper in them, and some quarters that you don't see no brown. So y'all better learn some shit.
Yeah, that's an expensive collector. The silver, when you do the silver, that's kind of expensive.
This was a youngster. I don't got everything we used to have, but we used to have that type of shit.
Facts.
More dollars, as they call them, and all that type of stuff.
I probably got more money in $2 bills than a lot of niggas have in their bank right now. But
Facts.
that's a different story.
Facts.
But all that shit. It's $1,000 bill out there too. I'm just giving y'all some ism.
It's $5,000 bill.
For sure.
It's a $10,000
But
bill.
Tens too, yeah.
But the average dude has never seen, because bills like $1,000 bills and $10,000 bills, banks used to use them
I saw
as
that.
in between banks, so they never really. The most I've ever seen in real life is one time my mother had a $500 bill.
I saw that.
But I know $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 bills exist, but usually banks
Certificate of
keep
deposit versus Federal Reserve note.
banks use them like as transport between each other.
Right.
But it's like I said, I saw a $500. My mother had a $500 bill, but I was probably 12 or 13 when I saw that. So
That's when I spoke on the red.
It's been 40 years since I've seen one.
black.
I've never seen one since.
But like I said,
but those bills do exist.
Yeah, for sure.
But many of y'all have probably never seen
They
it.
better sell a small face honey.
A lot of y'all probably ain't never even seen a lot of y'all probably ain't never seen a Susan B. Anthony.
Oh, I got those.
What's
Youngsters
that
ain't.
one?
My auntie used
Like
to.
a gold
my
dollar
auntie-
coin.
Oh yeah. Okay.
People ain't
Yeah,
seen
okay.
$2
I didn't know the
bills.
proper name.
And
My
some
auntie-
people ain't seen what's the other joint? Okay, you got the
The
$2 bills.
I got those. You got the small face hundreds. You got you got it's a lot of shit. But like the Susan, speaking on the Susan B. Anthony's, I have an auntie that she passed years ago, but that was her gift to us every year. Was what our age was, she'd give it to us in Susan B. Anthony's.
For real? Yeah. Okay.
A lot of cats ain't never seen a Susan B. Anthony.
No, I didn't know the proper name for sure.
Anthony
definitely
said he watching right now with the phone propped up with a big booty Brazil. Yeah, cause you out. Hey, yeah, you out there in Brazil. That my guy.
What? Shout out to Brazil, bro.
And out there, and chilling.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
been on the show. That's my guy. And out there chilling.
Yeah, man.
Hey, I'm coming with you next time.
A lot of people ain't seen like my boy. Shout out to my boy Network. Go there. He goes to Canada.
And Anthony Moore said he still got his bow dollars
And
from
so-
the 70s. That's
Oh,
right.
you got your bow dollars?
See, that's what's up.
And my boy,
The Bow Dollars.
they
Oh,
gave
he a
him
real
a $20 Canadian.
Oh, yeah.
A Canadian dollar, and he tried to fight the people because he thought they were shorting him, and that's why the Network can't go back to Canada.
For sure.
Because a misdemeanor assault here is a felony there.
What? Oh, yeah.
Network ain't.
Oh,
he
in
thought
Canada?
He thought he was getting cheated, but they gave him his change back in Canadian money, and he had never seen that. And
he started tripping.
because Canadians actually call their money dollars too.
Yeah, okay. I didn't,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
didn't
So
know
they
that.
said we're gonna give you this many dollars in
And he
change.
came out
But
with
when
the
they
queen.
hit him and he didn't see
He
dollars,
He came with the queen
he
head.
got hyphy and and now he can't.
The Queen
Well, no, that's
Elizabeth.
been about damn near 20 years. He could probably come back now.
And I'm not gonna. I'll FaceTime you on the other side. He talking about FaceTiming to see what he doing. We'll do that later, bro. But
Yeah, bow dollars is
it's a lot.
yeah. A lot of people when you
That's
say
old
bow
school.
dollars, you got to be of a certain age to even understand what a bow dollar even was.
Right. So, man, we went to collecting.
Oh yeah, we vibing,
Conversation.
man. We comboing, man. Chopping it up. What my pops would say, man.
My
we
cousin-
chopping it up.
My cousin Dad, he said he used to hate getting this
Yeah, I
Canadian
see
money
it.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they'll say dollars, but they not handing you.
Dollars.
I mean,
American.
what's dollars?
They're
Yeah,
handing you their version of dollars,
But
not
I wanted to.
what you think
Which
the
is
U.S.
thing is,
version.
when you go to other countries, they don't say here
They
go
not
dollars. They'll
even
say
good.
no
They go,
to
yeah,
whatever, right?
pounds.
So if you're and one
Hey,
thing
Lord.
about being in Canada is
Thank you for tuning in.
that even though you know you're in another country,
So you been in Canada?
you can get can get so comfortable that you forget you're not in America till
Right.
things happen like somebody giving you change
Right.
that's pink, a
Yeah.
whole nother color.
Facts.
Or if you venture towards the middle, all of a sudden nobody speaks English.
Right.
In the middle of Canada, nobody speaks English.
What
That's
they
like-
speaking?
They speak French.
Like one year, I was
In fact, some of them speak French as a.
Canadian, French Canadian.
Well, they say it as a. They actually do it as a defiance because they want their own country. So they'll refuse. Like if the government put up a sign,
Yeah.
the people will remake the sign in French and put
slap
it up right
on
there,
top
like
of it, like,
fuck y'all.
oh yeah. Oh, what you know about all this Canadian history?
Well, you know,
Bro, we well traveled.
Well, I
yeah, I
mean,
see.
I mean,
Stamp
put
our
it to you like
passports.
this:
Fats, hey, passport junkies.
you
huh?
can go to Ohio and pick something up, and you cross the Windsor Bridge in Detroit, and
now
you
in Canada.
you triple your value.
Oh, you over here telling the Underground Railroad.
triple your value.
you
Hey.
over here telling the routes.
So hey, so they say.
you over here telling the routes.
What you can pick up in Ohio.
I need that.
Now the thing is, though, is here's the thing. The reason why the value is triple is because when you get on the border of Ohio and Michigan,
Talk to me.
you got troopers who literally, 3 of us in the car,
They-
we're getting pulled over.
For sure.
We're getting pulled over. I got pulled over once for doing 63 and a 65.
Oh yeah.
63.
Yeah, they
Speed limit
tripping.
was 65.
Yeah, they tripping.
Dude pulled me over
And
because
told you.
he told me you was doing 63. You was getting kind of close to it. And then while he's
That's
talking to me, he's doing this. And then he says, "Do you mind if I take a look?" And he starts reaching towards the glove.
Center console?
Yeah, towards the center console, right?
This in Canton.
No, this is a trooper coming into Michigan.
Okay, yeah.
And
okay,
as he's reaching, he's looking for me. And since I didn't flinch, he said, "Okay," because
he trying to see he know you
about
got
the flinch.
yeah.
About the flinch, then he could have got a search warrant, and you know how they use
Probably
that cap.
cause.
Say based on my years of experience, the person's demeanor, and this and that. So
nervous.
And 500 grams in Michigan is life.
Oh yeah, See, and that's why I ain't really never moved up out of California just on the weed laws, bro.
So 500 milligrams in Michigan is life. So you gotta be an idiot.
For sure.
Which in our 20s, me and my friends was idiots because we risking a life sentence. But if you do make it to the other side,
you'll be alright.
The reward is over.
We ain't gonna tell them about the rewards.
But here goes the thing. When I was in my 20s, this was so much paper that I was willing to risk it.
For sure.
Now that I'm in my 50s, I'm like, nigga, I risk life for that.
And, shit was a little different.
For that?
Shit was a little different back
like
then.
I risked life for that? Oh.
Inflation was alright when you was in the game.
Right.
It was, you know what I mean? It was real money back then, you know what I mean? That
but even still, though,
risks and still be living okay
with the minimum
right
mandatories that they had, and with certain states like Michigan with hitting niggas with life sentences, it was actually, when I look back, we was really stupid.
No, for
but
sure.
But when you're young and you got testosterone, and not only that, what they say, usually when you see a dumbass, it's a pack of other dumbasses behind them cheering them on. Right. And that's where it's at. But what they say, God looks out for fools and babies.
For sure.
And so I'm a living testimony of that because
for sure.
I took so many chances to throw my life away over shit that now I look back and be like, nigga, man, I fucked that off on
bullshit.
Smooth, I'll order pay-per-view fights.
Facts.
And said, send a crash out over the bridge. Fuck it.
But see, that's the thing. In my era, the crash out could get caught, and niggas be like, man, he ain't gonna say nothing. You ain't gotta worry about it. Just let's keep money on this book.
We call
in this era, the crash out is going. He ain't even gonna wait to see if they gonna hang you. He gonna start making a deal in the back of the police car.
Crash outs, man. Like, that's why I say, bro. Like we used to call them doodads. Like we call them doodads. Do this, do that. Go here, go there. Turn left, turn right. You hear what I'm saying? Like, I don't fuck with no crap. Motherfucker, once a motherfucker get to talking about crash out around me, bro, I get the fuck away from a nigga, bro. Excuse my language. I get a...
You can say...
Yeah, I know, but, we chopping it up. We don't want to get flagged and nothing like that.
As long as we don't talk about the...
The
elemental P.
Yeah, for sure. But like I was saying, though, like...
My cousin Andy talking about...
Let somebody talk about crash out, bro.
Anthony know what I'm talking about. When you get to Quebec, everything is in French, and you be sitting there like, whoa, wait a minute, what are they talking? Because if you've been in Canada, everybody talking sounding just like us.
Yeah.
They don't have no accent. And then suddenly you be in a corner, you get in Quebec, and people is refusing to speak English. They refusing to speak, like they making it a point to not speak English.
Just so you won't even know.
Like, because when they go to the schools, the Canadian government makes them learn English. So outside of the schools, because they feel like they're oppressed because they want their own country.
Facts.
So anytime they outside of an official setting, they won't even acknowledge you if you speak in English. Unless they realize you're an American, they'll give you a pass. But if they think you're another Canadian and you trying to speak English, fuck you. We speak French over here.
Yeah, that's crazy.
After he say he wish he'd have paid attention to school when he was in French for 2 years. But yeah, no, man, you don't want no crash outs nowadays.
Nah, hell no.
You don't want no crash out. Because what's considered, in my day, a crash out was really somebody that would crash out, like do or die missions.
But back then,
one way, but now crash out is just considered anybody acting.
Crash outs though.
Well, yeah, but like
they was like back then.
That's how they got down.
They didn't even know they was crash outs, right? These days they literally like they'll say, "I'm gonna crash out."
They embracing it like
it's a badge of honor.
I was gonna say a super badge of honor.
Why are you embracing being a crash out? I knew cats who grew up in my era. They grew up in such hopeless circumstances that it'd be like, well, if I live or die, I don't care. But now you got a cat that might grow up, you eating every day, you got the video game, you living a good life, and he's saying, oh, I'm a crash. Why are you crashing out? You got a good life.
They ain't never saw the struggle.
You crash out when you be like, man, the way my life come down, I'm going to put it all on black, and if it don't work out, fuck it.
Yeah, facts.
But if you intentionally going there, well, I'm cool. I'm eating every day. I got opportunities, but I'ma still do some retarded shit. I mean, I don't understand it. I see cats coming from what I would have considered a good home, a good family, good support, and they willing to do some 25 to life shit just because a nigga cut them off at the gas pump or what that nigga over there looking at, and I be sitting there like, you ain't even got no actual legitimate beef with dude.
I be liking
y'all not even funking with each other.
When I be with some of my partners and like a nigga be looking at us and they be like, man, who that nigga looking at us? I be like, you know what I say to you? I'm with somebody like that. Yeah, like bro, why wouldn't they look over here, boy? Like what you mean? Of course they looking over here. Like don't even trip. I don't even see them. I see them because I'm watching my back. But now at the same token, I'm not. They just looking and probably just and that's they looking. They turn. They go by their life. We go by. I'm like, bro, like come on, bro. Blessing when somebody come see me. Like in Stockton or something, and they come, come to Stockton, we somewhere eating, and they not frequently been out there, and they see some motherfuckers, and I be like, hey, you don't do all that with me,
One
bro.
thing about Stockton,
it ain't like that.
One thing about Stockton, my nephew had a prominent position in Stockton at one point.
I fuck with Stockton. Shout out to Stockton,
and
man.
He, like his daddy went to the pen before he was born. And still in the pen.
Yes.
We got out for about 3 weeks. Did a drive-by, some shit. Went back, and every time he come up for parole, nigga, they say come back in 4 years.
God damn.
Some wild shit, right?
Yeah.
So my nephew is 32, and 31 years and 11 months. His daddy been in prison. So prison reaching out to the thing. So. And he did this thing in Stockton where he did two things. He did Operation Ceasefire.
Okay.
And he did that UBI, Universal Basic Income. And between those two things, it actually dropped the violent crime rate like 30%.
When was this? Back in the days?
No, like from like 2016, 2020.
Okay.
He was the mayor.
Fairly recent.
Yeah, he was the mayor. And with the UBI, and he went to Stanford, so he went and got companies like Google.
Is that Tubbs?
Yeah.
Oh,
he went and got people.
The youngest mayor in
so he went and got Google.
In American history.
Yahoo, the dude that founded Snapchat, and they funded it where he went around and said, you don't make enough money, if you resort from crime, we'll give you $700 to $1,000 additional regardless of your other income, just so you could fill in them gaps. So now then the program is called UBI. So between that Universal Basic Income, then he had another program called Phoenix Scholars, where if you was a sophomore or junior in high school, they brought in special people to mold you to get your SATs up, fill out your applications for you, get you into the HBCUs and all that. And then he had this Latino dude, I can't remember the dude's name, but dude that did like 19 years. And he literally empowered dude and his Norteño homies to literally walk the turfs. That was their job. They walked the turfs every day to find out what's happening, to stop this get back, to stop this, to tell people, hey, you ain't got to be over here. We got these resources, and they was respected because they had walked in main lines.
Yeah, see, when I was in Stockton at that point, I was just straight, working. I wouldn't even. I heard about him though, but I wasn't in tune with all the great things.
But the thing
that
is that there was a lot of things. People say politicians can't make a difference, but if you got a politician who really got his ear to the streets and is dedicated to the people, they can really get out there. And they might not can make a difference to everybody, but there is certain individuals that are receptive to change. Like, they just need somebody to show them
not
the way.
Not to cut you off though, and not to cut you off though, but like when we talking about just like being the mayor, like who I see being the mayor of Oakland is for sure Fab.
That's the doorbell.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think he'd be.
Fab would be a great man. Hey, for sure, Fab would be. You know what I mean? Yeah, somebody is that was the doorbell.
Huh? It's probably Tiffany.
Yeah, for sure that Fab would be a great mayor because he already do mayor shit.
Oh yeah,
like I think he do more.
You gotta get somebody in there to care.
Yeah, right. And he
cares about
for sure, for sure.
I always salute bro.
Oh man, I take so many pages out of his book, bro. And
that brother cares about his community. He puts in the work.
For sure.
He's dedicated.
For sure. Shout out to Fab.
It's always salute, bro.
Dope era, man. For sure. Shout out, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? He for sure. I definitely see him being the mayor of Oakland, you know what I mean? And whenever he run, he gonna win. Because he going to have the people behind him, bro. For sure.
But see how it can all tie in? If you could get somebody like that who's proven that they give a fuck with the people, you get a network of these podcasts to bypass the traditional media and speak directly to the people and push that line.
Oh, yeah, that's raw now. See,
this could be a powerful thing.
That's definitely a good visionary right there. And see, when we sitting here chopping up, how you doing?
Well, see, I actually stole the idea from a dude I heard on Twitter.
Don't say stole. We ain't stole.
I borrowed the idea.
Yeah, we
because he said one of the things that make that right-wing movement so powerful is that you got the Rogans, you got the podcasts, you got this.
They stick together, bro.
But it bypasses the traditional media, and it speaks directly to people. And it's something about when people think that this is speaking direct, like CNN or CBS got to speak to everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
But our particular message, we ain't trying to reach everybody. We're trying to reach young black and brown men.
Facts.
So we need something that's talking to them. Like if we're trying to stop violence, we can't have whoever's the anchor for KTVU sitting there talking about things. No, we need somebody who can say, hey, y'all.
For sure.
Whoop-de-whoop and talk directly to that, and that's how you can make an actual impact. So, man, I really hope that you follow through on this. I'm going to do whatever I can to support you because you put this podcast together.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
That new media all under one roof. And then get them
and that's why
to see their power like, hey.
For sure. And we're going to move as a unit,
y'all could really talk directly to the streets.
And like I say, it's always, you know what I mean, impact over income because the income going to come later. Right. You know what I mean? We definitely ain't chasing nothing. Right. We ain't even chasing dreams. You hear me? Right. You know, dreams coming to us. We attracting everything over here. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying? So
I hope podcast, man, you got a powerful idea.
We definitely ain't hoping, man. It's faith over hope, man. Right. You hear what I'm saying, man? We
kind of like Tom said, you with it.
Yeah, you got a powerful thing. You could lead to a real movement.
Oh man, I already see it, man. Once you see it clearly, bro, like when it's your vision, nobody can make you or break you, man.
Right.
It don't
Lord can't stop. She said she would.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, y'all can never.
Definitely, Lord.
Y'all go ahead, old heads and young boys.
Our network is tuning in.
Y'all go ahead and follow me right now. Y'all, like I said, I'm more active.
And here come Mark Anthony with that bullshit.
Mark Anthony said, he said if he's not involved, is the streets truly represented?
Ain't you in Brazil right now? You're international. Hey, we trying to talk to the cats who don't got a passport.
Hey, listen,
I got one. Hey, I'm with you next trip, bro.
Listen, hit me up, man, on Old Heads and Young Bulls podcast, Instagram or Facebook, man.
I'm trying to talk to the cats that grew up in Brookfield and tell you, oh, I ain't never been to Frisco. See, we trying to talk to them. Hey, this cat's out here that grew up in East Oakland and will literally look you in the eye and be like, I ain't never been to Frisco.
That's wild of me.
One cat, I told him we finna go to Reno, and he said, man, I'm still trying to get to Frisco. And I'm sitting there like, you ain't never made it to Frisco? He was like 30-something. Ain't never
been from Oakland?
And they
Why
never
you didn't go to San Francisco? Oakland always been good in San Francisco.
Man, some cats live their whole life in a 4-block radius.
Yeah, that's true. That's for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And I thought this wasn't like no broke nigga that lived there and stayed in grandma's back room. This was a cat who actually was getting paper.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was a real Brookfield representative.
I can see
he wasn't like a semi-retarded dude that don't really come out the house. He was there, but he was like, I ain't never... Just some kind of way in his life, they never made the Frisco. We sitting there like,
probably never had no business going out there. Plus, if
right, that's the thing, though.
Some people move where the money take them, bro. If it ain't no money coming,
but ain't no the thing. When I started, I ain't never had no business in Frisco, but when I started getting some ones and twos in my pocket, I wanted to go to Frisco and stunt in them clubs. I wanted to go to Vegas.
I went to San Francisco on my 16 shit.
When I was a little bitty dude, the bosses would go like Larry Holmes and motherfuckers like that be fighting in Vegas, and they talking about I was at Caesar's Palace, this, that. So in the 90s came, and Mike Tyson there was fighting there. I could be on there. We didn't have no social media, but I could sit there and tell you, yeah, man, I was at Caesar's Palace for the weekend. Like, I wanted to do everything. Them players that I looked up to, I wanted to do all the shit that they did. Risk my neck and my freedom to try to be able to, just so I could tell niggas who probably didn't even give a fuck. Yeah, man, I was at Caesar's Palace, man, and you know what I'm saying, and, you know, yada I mean, and you know, and niggas be like, oh, for sure, okay.
Facts.
Exactly.
I definitely got myself indicted to impress niggas who would have just laughed at me if I went away.
So what we live on? Just on Facebook right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we're gonna upload it back, and then we're gonna upload the show to YouTube.
Yeah. Y'all go ahead, like and share, man. Tune in, man. Appreciate the likes and, you know, the comments, you know what I mean? Like I say, man, I'm Cadillac James, but
and we got Cadillac Tom in the
Cadillac Tom Apparel is in the comments.
Cadillac James is really my father name, man. You know what I mean? Okay. I came home in 1980 in a 77 Seville, white on white.
Okay.
You know, Seville, so that's where the Cadillac James came from.
Now let me interject something.
But I'm James the Great.
Let me interject something. If you was a player, there's 3 Cadillacs you had to have. You had to have that 73 Fleetwood. You had the 77 Seville. And what's the third one?
80s.
The 84 Brougham.
Yeah. See, I'm a baby old head.
Like, you had to have one of them 3.
I'm only 45.
If you was really a boss, you had one of them 3.
I'm only 45, man.
My dad had an 81 Barrett's.
Okay.
I'm still a baby, man.
Okay.
You know
Your dad was getting to the paper.
Oh, of course.
But 77 Seville, especially with the 5th wheel,
come on. Not the 5th wheel, but my trunk is so future back then. The trunk go down by itself. Mm-hmm. You hear me? They got the lights on the handle. When you stick the key up in there, the light come on. See, y'all don't know about that in the 77s. You know what I mean? That was a future. That was the Jetson car, bro. For sure.
77
when you
Seville.
The little light come on. You still the trunk
circle rings.
Then we got the air shots, you know what I mean? Back there we can A1, we can, you know, box it out.
Don't understand.
Bro, when I had the Seville, I'm at the gas station. While the little YN, the young bulls coming, I'm at the gas station.
It was either El Dorado or a Barrett's.
Why the young bull do me like this? He said, this boy got a box shelf and he put Cadillac on the box shelf. I said, yeah, man, you ain't never saw nothing like this, man. This is Seville. He like, man, I thought this was a box shelf.
See, they didn't keep making the 77 Seville because it was too glaring. It was too glaring.
I still got mine right now with 86 original.
77 Seville or 77 Seville or 84 Brougham. When you pulled up, they knew you was a player. They knew you was a player if you pulled up and wasn't
I'm
there.
like, I want your Seville. It was green.
I got a little spot right now, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't tell everybody this, but I ain't a gatekeeper. You hear me? It don't serve me no purpose to keep it. But I know a spot that sells nothing but Cadillacs.
Nothing but them lights.
Ain't nothing but some
L-Dogs.
old school Sevilles, the
Nothing
72
but them
glass
lights.
houses.
Like on Outkast song, we said nothing but them lights.
You hear me? Hey,
I've had 10
in
my life.
Brentwood. In
In
Brentwood.
my life, I've had 72 glass. I've had 10 72 glass.
10, 72.
7 72s. I had 173.
Fleetwood.
I had
Like
several.
Mary
I had
Yellow.
a
So
six.
just
I had a
imagine
6.5.
how much money you think
98.
you ran through. Yeah, we didn't know.
Yeah.
I think we didn't know because all the little old schools, classic antique cars that we had, from the Novas, from the Malibus, bro,
Man,
they worth right
Old
now
school Monarchs
50
for
bands right now.
You know what's hilarious is I look on the YouTube, right, and they have these where cats having glass houses, and out down south they call them dumps, right?
Mhm.
And they don't probably
Yeah.
put some of them cats put damn near 100,000 into them cars.
Sure.
I be like,
But they didn't really even have to do that because the car down there really already cost down there 60, 70 with all the original
well, they
parts.
want to do the rims, this and
remember-
that. I seen one where a cat put a Z1 engine in it.
Yeah, for sure. They
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna lie.
Remember when Cats was Superfly and they had the whole chrome everything, chrome
Yeah.
engine, chrome. That's when you knew you was top notch.
Yeah, for sure.
But see, people don't understand there was also a chrome shortage at one point. So if you was your shit was chromed out, then
Oh
that
yeah, you was on
you
another
spent
level.
you spent some real paper on
I
that.
remember that. Motherfuckers had
For
whole
sure.
all chrome everything. It was like,
Yeah.
God damn, that's old school player shit.
For
Y'all
sure,
get
for
that
sure.
at 3 in the
Remember
morning.
the car that Ice Cube drove in
What was a good day video?
Boys in the Hood?
Okay, which one?
That was owned by this Mexican guy. And he had a lot of chrome in that. In fact, outside of that movie, that car has never really been drove.
That's
When they
crazy.
bring it to car shows,
It's on
they-
the trailer.
It's on the trailer.
Exactly.
Majority cars like that
but
on
they
trailers.
let Ice Cube drive it for the movie. But outside driving them in the movie, and that car still is around.
I bet that car
You know what I'm
worth a
saying?
good 150 or something right now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he had it hooked
Got to be
beyond
about
hooked
150
in.
right now, boy.
What year that movie come out? 92, whatever, 91, 92.
90? Boys in the Hood?
Yeah, maybe 91 or 92.
91.
But I'm saying no, it was the top of the line then. So now,
You can
30
imagine
some
now.
years later, it's.
Probably like
It's top of
92,
the echelon.
93 probably.
Can you imagine getting a hold to the car from Boys in the Hood? But like I said, if dude's still alive, I'm sure he ain't giving it up. But if he did
Right.
pass, I hope.
91.
I hope
Nah,
that he.
91.
I hope he get. I hope it passed to his family
For sure.
and not somebody who didn't give a fuck. Because his blood, sweat, and tears is in that car.
For sure. Cars like that, when people have cars like that, they for sure already know who that's going to. For sure.
Still want that Mustang from Minister Society.
Like that.
Oh, them
I
cars-
said cheese,
the
nigga.
5.0,
On
them-
my
that's
burger,
an
I'm trying to get a
87.
burger.
I actually had one of them.
87.
I
That's
actually
an
had one of
87
them.
Point.
Yeah.
Yeah, 86, 87, 86. We used to call them the highway patrols.
And I had one. You know why I got
The
one?
highway patrol 5.0.
Seeing Chris Hicks and them stunt in one, I went and
I
did
see
everything I
Chris.
could
Yeah, I
to get
saw
in
Chris
one.
out there in Stockton, man. Yeah, shout out to Chris. Man, CH.
I seen some things on the internet where some cats was trying to make fun of him, right? About
Nah,
some
he-
bit of
nah,
video
he-
he put up. But the last time I seen him,
That's
he was in a
real,
drop
yeah.
Bentley.
Nah, man. Every time
He was
I
in a
see-
drop Bentley last time I
Every
seen him,
time
so I don't
see
know what
Chris
niggas, I don't know what
see him
jokes
out there in
niggas trying to
Stockton,
make.
man. He be with his grandkids, man. He looking good, man. He, you know what I mean?
Salute.
Still got moving. Yeah, shout out to Chris, man. CH, man.
Hey.
Yeah, he out there in Stockton, man.
Hey,
I seen him a
always,
few times.
that's a
looking-
cat that represented correctly in the game for 40
sure.
years.
The Bay, for sure.
For
the
40
Marines
years.
And everywhere else, man.
But even before all that, see, here goes the thing about
Running with
it.
little
Here goes the
girl
thing
and
about
all
a
that,
cat
man.
like
I
Chris.
know a little history.
What people don't understand is a cat like Chris, even before they got into the music business,
He was doing his thing.
he was already
See, I
famous.
was a baby.
He was already famous.
I was a baby.
See, he
man.
came in the game famous. See, now some cats come in the game and then they make a name in the game. I mean, in the music or something like
And then
that,
they think
and
they're
then they got to try
somebody.
to live up to that.
Yeah.
So they then cats do it backwards now. They go into the music business, they make a name, then they got to live up to that. So then they go to the streets and do wild shit.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you come from the streets and you already got the
You
name,
really
you
trying
don't
to
got
get
to
up
go
out of
back.
there. Yeah,
You ain't got to go back.
really trying to get up out of there.
You weren't allowed to even
I'm trying to get up out of
have
the
a
streets,
voice
man.
unless you were certified.
Mm-hmm.
The era we came from. Let's keep
Facts.
it a buck.
Yeah, you could never be the big homie just because you got money.
And it was yeah, nah, for sure. And it was a
you
chain
could have
of
money and get
command.
sent to the store.
Like with me, I don't give a fuck how old I am, bro. I'm 45, my man, and I swear to God, I love, it'll never be no big me's, little U's type shit, man. If I see an old head, OG, you know what I mean?
Thomas, what's up?
Nigga,
Shout out to
I'm
Lori.
for sure gonna
When that
respect
comes to
him like he my
Right.
OG. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Plus, if I know
Right.
you're OG and she like Chris.
Yeah.
And I saw Chris and she was up, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when I was a
You gonna
little
give him his
kid.
acknowledgement.
For sure, when I was a little kid, I saw him in them Bentleys, them Benz, them 500s, and,
Right.
doing what his thing with a hella white bitches with him.
Doing
and
it what?
doing what he doing.
Doing what it's supposed to be done.
So why not? Just because I'm 45, Chris down there 60-something, down there 70-something, old
We're
man
gonna
with
give him his full
grandkids.
respect.
I still feel like the youngster when I'm around him.
Right.
Like, hey, what's up, OG? How you doing, man? I saw him at Nations, man. He had all his grandkids with him.
This is all respect.
Yeah, you know what I mean? We sit down, we talk until our food got done. And like I said, I did offer him to come on the platform. He gave me his card and, you know what I mean? But like I say, we just chopped it up, you know what I mean? Kind of lived it by each other, you know what I mean? And like
I'm
I said,
always
when it's
for
real
giving
old heads,
respect, when
yeah,
respect
bro.
is due. You know what I'm saying?
And
I
that-
sometimes give respect even when it ain't due, just based on.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I
Yeah,
respect.
you gonna be like,
Respect
man,
all.
One
but
thing
fear
I
none.
know is if you used to be doing your thing and you down on your luck, you never gonna get no smirk or disrespect from me.
Oh, you
Respect
fell off.
all, but
No,
fear
man,
all.
life
Because-
be life, and that's just what it be.
Exactly.
I always
Life
treat
can
you like a
take-
human
and
being.
life can
Yes,
take
for sure.
certain turns for any of us because, like I said,
For sure.
I did retarded shit back in the days that
Oh, yeah.
I could really just now be coming home.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying?
I
So
thank
what would my
God.
life be like
hey,
if I'm coming out this motherfucker after 29 years? Would I still be sitting here with this smug look on my
Hey.
face? No, I'd probably be down there at Eastmont trying to get some GA.
yeah, facts.
You know? So you never, like you said, life be life, and so you never know. So if you had the fortune, if you was fortunate enough for your life to go this way, you can't never look down on somebody if their life went that way.
Hey,
Because
for sure.
them roles could. Fate is a cold game.
You know, one thing I used to do though, like at work, bro. When I was at work, right, I used to tell people, man, from the CEO to the janitor, man. You know what I mean? From the CEO to the janitor, man. You know what I mean? You respect all but fear none. Meaning, the same toes you step on today, maybe probably be the ass you got to kiss. You keep your job tomorrow, man. You feel what I'm saying? I was a prime example of that, bro. I used to come. It's always performance over seniority. Well, you know what I mean? When I come in, just because you've been there at this job for 20 years, you got somebody like me with performance. You got seniority. But it's always performance over seniority. You understand what I'm saying? So, huh?
I'm union.
See, we gonna get up out of that.
My
That
seniority.
yeah, I understand that. But
I'm gonna tell you why.
you got a young bull like me gonna come in and put in that
gonna,
work.
You're gonna come and get it, but here's the thing. I crawled, I fought, I did everything so you can come through and have fun.
I did that, but I say when people say them toes, you gotta be careful. Them toes you step on
Exactly.
So
today.
basically,
Right,
treat
'cause I
everybody
can
with
come in,
respect
yes.
and conduct
Because I
yourself.
can come
in
in
a
just because you got that
certain
manner.
seniority and you ain't putting in that work.
I
And
tell
then
you-
I come in and I'm being productive. Now I'm your boss. You understand what I'm saying? Now I'm telling you what to do. Don't matter what
I
the
hope you didn't haze me or give me a hard time.
Oh, we don't
yeah,
care.
you feel me? No,
Man.
I'm just saying some people do that. Them the people that be stepping on people's toes.
Yeah.
You feel
The
what I'm
thing
saying?
is, true to your point.
Yeah.
The thing is, you always got to remember,
Treat
the
everybody
master has forgotten more than a rookie ever will.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, talk to me.
That's just facts. You will never have today without yesterday.
For sure.
So you gotta always
For sure.
remember that, because I tell people, don't live in the past. Just be aware of that shit.
Oh no, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little saying like they say, what they say, yesterday is history.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow's a mystery. Today is a gift. That's why they call it the present.
That's
You hear me?
Yeah, you got to be on today, but you got to remember, because if you don't pay attention to some old shit, you liable to repeat the shit. Because the motherfuckers who the real puppet masters,
Yes.
they got the whole board.
No, for sure. For sure.
The thing about, say, the younger generation, they hungry. Them young bulls.
The young bulls, man.
And I love them.
Yeah, and that's why I got the prize.
Because everybody's a young bull at some point in life.
Facts. And we
That's
still,
the cycle of
look,
life.
and we still a young bull to somebody though.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You understand what
I
I'm
had somebody
saying?
call me nephew the other
Yeah,
day, and I'm
exactly.
like, and I'm like,
Exactly.
and I
I love
laughed.
it. That's
I mean,
what I
I gave
love
them their respect, but I laughed because I'm like, you call me nephew, but all day I'm getting called uncle.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
that's real.
yeah, that's real.
That's
Yeah.
the water.
We the
That's
old
the water.
heads and the young bulls. It
That's
just
the
depends
water.
who presence we in.
You know what I'm saying? That's the
For
water.
sure, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at this shit through a magnifying glass, you'll see the breakdown of the molecules and everything lined up the way it's always supposed to.
For sure.
You could be a young bull with an old head mindset
Man,
and be
old soul.
trained
For
by
sure.
the senseis, because you
For sure.
don't get to become a Jedi till you go through shit.
Yes.
You can have Jedi qualities. That's why the Jedis go. Star Wars is some shit. I'm gonna give you some shit real quick,
Bro, that shit
Listen,
real.
I
I'm
know
gonna give
got
you some.
rejected,
You ready?
no matter
That
how
shit
You ready?
talented
Get
you
some
are.
3 in the morning shit. I'm gonna give you some 3 in the morning shit real quick.
That shit real, man.
You look at the shit. They went and got kids. You look at.
Remember, they wanted to reject Anakin because they felt he was
It's like
too
he
old,
too powerful. Yeah,
despite
they go get
his
you.
natural ability.
They go get you when you got that promise, that drive.
Yeah,
this,
that
and
glow.
that. Exactly.
When
Show
you're an
enough.
indigo. When you're an indigo kid, man.
Show enough.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you know about indigo kids.
I got 2 of them.
Okay, it's very rare.
Let's
go.
It's very rare that I find so I can have a conversation with about indigo kids and star childs and all that. Okay.
And that's before.
And this staff
that's
right
before-
here, man.
that's
I know
beyond
y'all see it,
gay.
bro. Listen,
Y'all
man,
ain't ready
all
for that
great
conversation.
prophets got a good staff, my boy. That's one thing I do know. You
So,
know.
That's what I'm
Go
saying.
ahead.
They go get them because
For
you
sure.
start young.
You do?
And what happens is with us and people in general,
Yeah.
after everything, because life gonna life,
Yeah.
you become hardened, you become cut off to certain frequencies, certain shit, to where you miss
Low vibrations.
shit.
Yeah,
The world is a hook. If you fishing or not, they don't call it catching; they call it fishing.
Cause if you fishing, you got to, like, basically what you trying to say. See, you attracted. So when you go fishing, you don't catch a fish. You attract the fish. You know what I mean? So that's what he trying to say to y'all, you know, to everybody who, okay.
You get that shit
Yeah,
at
3 in the morning. I like that. I'm following you, though.
Because real
That's when they
fishermen-
gonna wake up.
See, the average cat just go throw a hook in the water. A real fisherman knows the flow of the river,
Yeah.
where they're gonna be most. They study it. They put the bait out, this and that, and when they catch certain amount of fish, it's not just a wild. See, some cats just throw it out there, and if they do catch one, it's just simply the luck of the draw.
A lot of attraction.
But a real fisherman
You know what
doesn't leave anything to chance.
For sure.
They study it, and like he said,
Same thing
they
when
know
when
the,
get
they
you.
basically know the board.
They know the board.
And they know the history. They know where these fish traditionally swim at. They know what time of day these this and that. They know the history. They know the
colors is gonna
future.
attract your attention. I know what strokes of my rod and my tip
What it
gonna
do,
make you
white
go.
out.
White out tune in. What it
Yeah.
do?
It's
My
damn
God.
near- it's basically like a casino.
Mhm.
Casinos and insurance companies a lot, because I was in the
Biggest
insurance business for a lot of years.
lobsters.
They
Talk
both
to
bring in people that's called actuaries.
What is that? Come on.
An
I like it.
actuary is someone who literally comes in, studies the history, studies the pattern, and says, hey, based on
This
my
stats.
estimate, this is how much revenue you're going to make. If you do it like this is the risk you're going to incur.
Okay.
And the people that are actual actuaries, to people who don't understand the science of it, you'll think this motherfucker's damn near some
crazy
prophet who
yeah
just said,
yeah.
but no. And that's how and literally insurance companies base rates on what actuary says. Casinos will move this particular game actuary.
See, I ain't never heard of that. And I love
they
that
people who
too.
come in,
Actuaries.
who
I'm gonna have to
study, they
that
come
one.
in, they study a
Yeah,
financial
they do the
institution,
projections
and then they
do
say,
the projections
if
and
you
the
do it like
analysis
this,
and shit. Yeah.
you're going to make this much money. And one of the parts of actuaries, and a lot of people think it's just numbers.
Nah.
But no, it's not numbers. An actuary has to be able to study psychology and say, hey, if you have
break it down
these
even more.
if you have these machines that are
Watch how I
blazing
break it
red, this and that,
When
that's
you
going
pass
to
the
attract
baton, watch how
people,
I
and they're
break
going
it
to
down
spend
even
this
more.
much money with
Yeah.
you. Like, they literally will study finance and human nature to say, if you do it like this, people are going to spend this much money with you, and you're going to make this much profit.
And to piggyback to the baton on this relay race that
Go
we
ahead,
do,
go ahead.
tag team this
Yeah,
game.
for sure,
Right.
for sure.
So just like with the casino, that's dealing with gambling.
Yeah.
The same thing when it comes to a grocery store.
Go ahead.
They put certain items
They
in
put
certain
shit in a grocery store is lined up to make you zigzag and go through.
Oh yeah. I
It's
kinda
all-
heard some shit like
this
that.
brother know this brother
Yeah,
I
know
know
what
what
he's
I'm
talking about.
speaking on.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's
Same
why
thing.
when you get to the
Yeah.
register, there's certain items that are at the
Same
register.
thing.
Right,
with
and
a
that's
casino.
called product placing too. A lot of people,
But there's literally a science
There's
to
a
it.
Yeah,
science
for
to
sure.
it.
It ain't just
For sure.
it ain't guesstimate.
No,
No, I'm
There's
saying
a science.
You
to
some
come
it.
people
in,
are paid
the
to
front,
put
your
that what it
produce
is,
gonna
yeah.
be right there.
Yeah,
That's the shit you're gonna look at first.
yeah, and then like they do that like in Burlington and Ross, like the
Everything.
waiting line.
Yeah.
When you waiting, that's why they start having all them things inside.
sure.
While you
And none of
waiting.
this
You're
is
gonna pick up some
coincidence.
shit.
You're gonna pick up some
It's
shit,
science.
and they're gonna
Yeah.
keep you there
All this shit is
waiting
science.
for a minute, and then you there.
Tried and tested formalities of lore.
For sure,
That's what
for
the
sure,
fuck it is.
for sure, man.
You know? That's
But
what
yeah,
that
once
shit do.
again, man, I appreciate y'all, man,
Yeah.
the invite, man.
That's what we do, man.
And like I say, man, y'all tune in to Old Heads and Young Bulls podcast.
Tell them where they can find you.
Yeah, Instagram, man. Old Heads and Young Bulls podcast on Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. If y'all want to follow me personally, y'all can get me on Cadillac James on Instagram. It would be James the Great on Facebook, but I just verified my pages, so they made me use my government. So that'd be James Earl Grant Jr. _, nickname James the Great. So you can still look me up on Facebook under James the Great. Yes, sir.
P, tell them where they can find you at.
Hey, you can find me across the board at Pharaoh Films, man, on Instagram, Facebook, all that, man. It's consistent. Cause I ain't trying to make myself hard to find.
Nah, yeah. I'm trying to, and I do got one event. I do want to try
plug
to, for sure. Old Heads and Young Bulls podcast is linking up with a couple of barbershops from Stockton to Fairfield. The event is called Cut the Streets, meaning we're gonna do what I do. If y'all go to my platform, I do feed the homeless. You know, I've been doing it way before my platform. In November, I just did Wake and Bake the Homeless, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, deodorants, toothbrush pads for the ladies. We did fresh hot coffee. So this time, what we doing around May, April, May, sometimes in June, we're gonna do Cut the Streets, meaning get a few chairs and whatever, a few barbershops come out there. Cut the homeless people
Lord,
hair
man, chop it
for
up
free
with
at the Tent City in Stockton.
Networking.
If y'all for sure got hygiene, y'all want to donate, y'all definitely feel free to DM me. I got a few sponsors from Modesto Flea Market. They're gonna be doing the cutting the females' nails out there.
Okay.
So if any barbershops,
That's what's up.
if any barbershops want to participate or donate, go ahead, feel free. I really don't like taking no money. You know what I mean? I like taking product. But if y'all do want to cash at me, I will be sending pictures of receipts and all the product y'all money do buy. So yeah, man, cut the streets.
Like some
cut
of these
the streets.
charities, we don't have admin costs. Whatever you
Facts.
give us goes to the people.
Facts, and any event that I do, I'm already ready to spend a couple of $100 out of my pockets before. If I can't,
you want to be the example.
Yeah, if I can't do it myself, meaning as financial, I won't even start talking about it. You know what I mean? Give and take. I do like the donations, the participations of people. Right. But you know what I mean?
Because it takes a village.
Yeah, and it really don't take no money, man. Like, I fed 500 people soup, man. $150. You know what I mean? That, 150 people got soup that day. Peanut butter and jelly, 100 people. You know what I mean? Hot dogs, 200 people. Nachos, all this shit is under 100 to 150, and you feeding 100 to 200 people. Mm-hmm. And then with me, I'm 215 friendly. The only thing I ever marched for in my life was weed. You hear me? Only thing I ever voted for was Obama and weed. You hear me?
Cheers.
But that's one thing. See, I'm an old head.
Take to the streets,
hey,
man.
The new old heads gonna be telling y'all, young bull, yeah, nigga, I be seeing niggas smoking. I'm like, nigga, I marched for that shit, nigga. When the weed was still legal.
Pay homage, nigga.
In 1992. You know what I mean? That's when weed went legal in California, man. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? 1992.
Go to jail for smoking the joint.
215, Prop 215. Humboldt County. Shout out to Eureka, man. To all my cousins and family in Eureka, California, man. For sure. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But yeah, cut the streets, man. Y'all for sure get at me. Old Heads and Young Bulls podcast, man. If y'all wanna be a part of that awesome event.
That's what's up.
Shout out to Angel. Angel is watching.
What's that,
man?
Angel?
One of the dopest producers, writers, and promoters in the world, man.
Okay.
She came on board, helped me produce my movie, and now she's telling her life story, and it's gonna be something major, man.
I definitely need help. I definitely need help, not with a movie, but with my book. I'm trying to get a book together. My own personal life story is gonna come from a kid from a kingpin family. Motherfuckers that do know my family, they know they was one of the biggest kingpins in Richmond, California. You know what I mean? And
so I knew they was kingpins because they was in that 77 Seville. Hey, that was the giveaway right there.
So, but it got the pros and cons to that shit. You know what I mean? Because that shit fucked up. That shit fucked up a lot of generations of family. You know what I mean? That shit cool when you was a kid. Coming from a kingpin family. But, just growing up in 45, man, that shit really did some real childhood trauma to me, man, that I never want my kids to experience from really being around kilos of dope and, and really from the, them early, late 80s stories, you know what I mean?
Richmond used to really go. They had a cat out there, they called him Sonny for the money.
For sure, everybody knows Sonny, man. Rest in peace, man.
And man,
and my family was really before him, though. You know what I mean? My family was before him. Shout out to the Peanut Gang. That's you know what I mean?
And then you had some wild characters out there, like he might be passed away, but I know like One-Eyed Marvin.
Oh man, that's for sure. Them all. See, my family, Richmond.
See, my aunt's house was on
legends.
16th. Was on the corner of 16th and Cutty.
Yes.
Across from the liquor store.
For sure, them legends.
Thing was, what used to confuse me when I used to go out there, is that, and this what I've been everywhere. I've been in the Ville. I've been on the South Side. I've been to Cabrini Green. This and that. I've been in West Philly, all that. The only place I could ever say that I was always shook when I went there was Richmond, because I realized that some of them cats in Richmond, especially when you get that north, that central thing like that, it be cats that grew up together.
Family.
Like his
family.
Like
family.
His
family.
He got a baby by his sister, this and that, and they was knocking each other off without no.
So one thing, look, let me tell y'all a secret. So I'm a comedian too, right? I'm a comedian. So I'm gonna tell y'all a little dark secret about Richmond. One thing about Richmond, California, we all say cousin, right? right? Oakland niggas say what? Blood, right? Richmond niggas, we all say cuz because one way or another we all fucking related, bro. One way we got a cousin, auntie, sister, mama, auntie, nephew related to somebody. So we used to be like, that's my cousin, that's my cousin. And really, we really cousin. And that's why they say them Richmond niggas crazy. You know why? And a lot of people, I'm about to get canceled for this. Incest in the chemical spill. Richmond chemical spill.
I give
We
a
got the
correction.
Richmond.
Let me add one more thing
A lot
to
of
that.
incest.
I say,
A lot
I've been
of
to the
incest and chemical spill,
I've been to
man.
the supposed worst parts of the Bay. Lived in some of them, but Richmond and East Palo Alto is the only places I can ever say that when I was there, I was visiting somebody, I was shook. Like, man, well, you got to keep saying, like, I've been in Compton,
Hey,
I've been in
crazy,
Watts,
man.
I had a girlfriend in Watts,
Richmond
but
crazy.
Richmond and East Palo Alto is the only two places I ever been where I got to keep. I've been in Nickerson Gardens, I've been on Grape Street,
And you know,
but them is the only two places I ever been where I
feel
had to keep
comfortable.
asking the person I was with,
is that my...
is we good?
Hey, one thing,
Is we
look,
good?
you know, one thing, I didn't even know how we talk, right? I used to be in Oakland, and niggas like, you country ass Richmond niggas, right? Nigga, I didn't really know, right? So, you know, Oakland, no, we known for the, Richmond niggas known for clean cars or whatever. Look at me, I'm saying the right shit now. I'm saying the proper affirmations. But look, let me tell you when a nigga really, really told me where I was from without I'm in Oakland, 77 Greenside. I'll never forget this shit. I'm by the store. I'm at 77 Greenside. I come out, I'm a young
That's
nigga.
some OG shit for
Yeah.
real, because that shit ain't even there no
Yeah,
more.
you hear me?
If the
So-
new generation won't even know what you're talking
Look,
about.
I'm on 77 Greenside, right? Shout out to
It's
Ray.
a vacant lot there now. They tore
Bro,
the whole
I
complex down.
come out, this nigga in a clean ass boy car, right? What I say? I'm like, ugh, boy, that's a clean ass car. That nigga looked at me and said, you from Richmond, huh?
Nigga knew off top.
Listen, you know me, nigga, my survival things came up because, you know, Oakland was, you know, Richmond people call, you know what Richmond people call Oakland? The trees. Y'all didn't know that, huh? It's a little Richmond, and the Richmond people know. We used to call Oakland the trees. Because back in the days, that's where we used to get the real weed from. You know what I mean? So we used to go to the trees.
Shout out to the
brother.
red fence.
Yeah, red fence. I was just about to say that. You know, red fence. Don't nobody know about the red fence. We used to call it the trees. And like, you know.
Hey,
and
the
this-
youngsters don't know about it.
Oakland was Richmond's safe haven, right? To be honest, because it was so much bullshit in Richmond. We used to come to Oakland to get on bitches, smoke weed, go to the sideshow, let our hair down, paint the town. No bullshit. We didn't even like to carry no bangers out here. You feel? Because it was all fun. But now get back to the story. That nigga said, I said, oh, your car hella clean. That nigga said, you from Richmond, huh? Nigga, my survival mode. Nigga, I'm like, nigga, who is you? He like, calm down,
Shout out to
boy.
Rock watching.
Yeah, I mean, he like, calm down, youngin'.
'Cause
I'm like, how you know I was from Richmond? Like, you niggas the only
No,
ones
Rock
say
ain't his
car.
cousin.
Like, you niggas don't say car. You niggas say car.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know we did that, bro. To that day right there, I didn't even know. Salute to our Richmond country ass.
That's wild. Well, everybody to me sound the same, but if you of a certain age,
pick
if a
up-
cat from East Palo Alto, there was certain slang and words he said, you would know.
Yeah,
If a cat was from Hunters Point, if a cat was from Richmond, if they say
You
2,
can't
3
tell
words,
now.
if they say 2, 3 words, you already know dude from there.
Yeah.
And then you'd also know how to deal with them, because if they was from
Facts.
Richmond, they was crazy as fuck. If they was from East Palo Alto, they could be kicking it at the party, go outside, and then shoot the motherfucker up before they leave.
Facts.
In fact, niggas start telling you,
I didn't really
hey,
know too many
niggas
East
start
Palo
telling
Alto
me,
people, though.
hey, them EPA niggas is up in here. Let's go outside, because if them niggas start shooting up inside the thing, we won't be. Like, you already knew, they was gonna act the fool. If you went to a club in Frisco and Richmond niggas came in, you already know, man, blood, get the number, man. We could get out because these niggas finna get the act of the fool.
See, I was a youngster back then, though, man. You know what I mean? Like, the back in days with the names you dropped, from Richmond, them was like legends. Like
Right.
them, the y'all know.
Well,
y'all
them names
probably,
rung all over the whole bay.
yeah, but
you know,
by me being from Richmond,
mm-hmm.
it was like bedtime stories.
Yeah.
Like motherfuckers didn't understand. Like motherfuckers had real red and white, Snow White bedtime stories. Our bedtime stories was the one-eyed Mars. You know what I mean? Was the boogeymans of the streets. You know what I mean? And it was real G codes back then too.
Know,
though,
the funny thing about it, and that's an interesting thing you
it
said
was
about
real
the
G codes, bro.
because that was one of the things of if your family was active, this and that, and yeah, the bay could be rough sometimes. The bay could be rough, and a lot of things could go on. But if you come up underneath them codes and you can make it through, then like they say, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere.
For sure.
And anywhere you go, you could be in Jackson, Mississippi, you could be in Miami, you could be in Philly, you could be in Harlem. Niggas is going to instantly say, where you from, dog? Because they see how you carry yourself. They automatically get curious about you. There's something about this. They downplay it now, but there's something about this Bay swag. There's something about the way Bay niggas carry themselves that anywhere we go, we instantly get that, hey, man, where y'all from? And you get a certain level of respect and you get a certain level of acceptance anywhere in America. If you say you from Richmond, you say you from East Oakland, you say you from here, you say you from the Bay, players all across the map gonna instantly accept you because they know this is one of them places where if you can make it here, you can survive without becoming a dope fiend or losing your mind. Because even if you square, even if you a good kid, you in a mad city. And one thing about a lot of cats here, you could grow up to be a preacher. You could be this righteous cat. You gonna have cousins that's done knocked down whole apartment buildings. And you gonna be done grew up around that. So you gonna have a certain, no matter what walk of life you in, there's a certain something that's gonna be in you that's not on you, it's gonna be in you.
Facts.
And it's gonna be, and like I said, anywhere you go in America, you can go to Detroit, you can go to all these legendary places, people gonna say, hey dog, where you from?
Facts. And it's all about how you present yourself, bro. True, that's you know what I mean? Like, motherfuckers.
But we get a certain level of training, it seems like
from the Bay. Just being from the Bay, period.
Right, by who we be related to, who we go to school with, who we be around.
And from being from the Bay.
Yeah.
Being from the Bay, it ain't no place, you know what I mean? Like, ain't no place in the world I could say is like the Bay area. For sure.
I want to touch on one thing before we slide out.
All right, go ahead.
Friday,
Yes. Schedule.
Trying to go
for sure. I'm waiting on y'all to close it.
We know.
I'm waiting on y'all to close it.
So, your podcam.
Yes.
What's the timeline you looking to do that for the people that's interested? Because there's people that's interested in that.
Hey, bro, it's gonna be mid-June, July. If we can get some sponsors, whoever interested, feel free to DM me, man. We can, compare notes. We can, go over things, get things. I need help. I can do this shit by myself because God gave me the vision. You feel what I'm saying? But I want everybody to be a part of this, bro. So whoever really, really interested in my vision and our vision and the vision, please feel free to contact me. And we can definitely get a part of this. You know what I mean? Like I say, I want to do it around, in the summer. I want to do mass promoting, you know what I mean? So all the artists from Oakland, Sacramento, Richmond, Vallejo, even LA can come and be a part of this, you know what I mean? So, the more the merrier, the more time promoting, the more bigger it'll be.
That sounds good. We got some people that's interested. We're going to make sure everybody tap in. Hey, y'all tap in.
Please.
Follow my man once again. Tell them where they can find you.
Old Heads and Young Buds on Instagram.
I love that name.
James the Great on Facebook. James Earl Grant on Facebook. And Cadillac James on Instagram. But you go to Old Heads and Young Buds on Instagram. The links is everywhere. All my links is connected. So go ahead, go to Old Heads and Young Buds on Instagram. Give me a follow. And you for sure can hit the links and get you where you need to be.
That's gonna be bossy, man.
That's
I'm
what's
looking
up.
forward
Sure.
to
I'm
it.
looking forward
It's
to
a
it.
I'm
great,
ready.
it's a great
I want to
fucking
wish you
idea.
continued success and blessings
Hey,
on what you're doing,
clockwise,
man.
Clockwise,
You know what I'm
man. We're
saying?
gonna move together, man.
That's what's up.
We're gonna move together, man.
You know me, I'm Deshaun. You can find me at Cognac_Confessionals on IG.
Yes.
Cognac Confessionals on Facebook. Cognac Confessionals on YouTube. But more importantly, you can always find me in your bitch dreams. Why? 'Cause that's where I reside.
Hear me?
But more importantly, you can find me in the bosom of the universe. Because that's where I call home.
Let's
Angel
go.
says
You
she
know what I'm
following you now.
Let's
Hey,
go.
see, look, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Appreciate
That work.
Angel is the screenwriter and the
Screenwriter.
producer. You know what I'm saying?
And-
With a hell of a story.
Man,
Yeah,
she
hell of a
sure can
followers.
help me with my book, man. You know, kid from a Kingpin family, man.
All right, Lord, appreciate you too. Love you back.
100% true stories.
I appreciate everybody. Hey, like, subscribe,
Please,
share
please.
the page, share the live. Subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, whatever platform you find me on, man, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? And as usual, now it's time to say goodbye
To all my Negro friends.
Hey,
Hey.
catch y'all next week, man.
Let's
Holla.
go.